cherry chocolate, and then we had our blonde. So our mocha.
Right. Well, blonde's in the mocha. Yes.
Right.
Okay. Are we bringing her out? Not yet.
No, yeah, you're gonna start. You're gonna start that.
All right. So this is going to be my model, and she is going to be starting off approximately a 6 to a 7. And what I have decided to do with her is, because the fall trend is definitely going to be your mochas, you're going to be seeing, and I don't know why, but it always seems like coffee, right? So we're all pretty good about that. Just go to Starbucks and you can figure out all kinds of really cool formulas. Anyways, what I did with my model and what I'm going to be doing with my mannequin today is we are going to be doing a melt, because I believe you all are seeing a transition with a lot of melting. I actually like them because they're seamless, but you can do so much creativity with it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting a 3N, 10 volume. I'm going to bring it, drag it through. I'm going to pull it and melt it. And I'm going to be creating in there also, so this is going to be usually a little bit where people start asking a question, is the 5VR and the 4RM. So we're going to be putting in slices of the VR 30 volume, and then we're going to be also doing the 4RM 30 volume, okay? So that is really going to help pop. In case anyone realizes, sometimes people have a tendency to be a little afraid to add a higher developer. If you're going in with a lower starting base and you're gonna go in with that 30, I'm going to pop this color. Every now and again, I'm gonna drag through a little bit of the 3N so I have a lot more dimension within it, but I wanna stay very strong. And I'm also, when I'm dragging her base, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. So a lot of people have a tendency to want to just tap it in. Don't be afraid to drag that down a little bit further. So that is basically what I'm going to be doing over here. If anyone has any questions or wants me to turn or move around as I'm applying it, please feel free to.
She's going to be using some different application techniques, and we'll come back when we get through the illusionist and the hypnotic. So our next thing up is our illusionist. This is our lift and tone in one step. Guys, illusionist, if you can lift and deposit tone in one step instead of bleaching and tone, you're going to get, in a one step, you're going to save so much time. Illusionist is probably one of my favorite one-step colors, and we can do this with reds. So I'm going to bring out Doreen Kersey, who is our illusionist lover and in our creams, and she's going to explain to you about illusionist.
Let me just look at everybody really quick. Hi, I saw something last night. We had fun. Hi, hello. So illusionist.
Are you on?
Oh, I'm glad you at least heard that.
Come on, get turned on.
Yeah. Hello. Did I do it?
Hi guys. Lights on. All right, so Illusionist Brilliant Cream Highlights is our highlighting system, our low ammonia highlighting system that lifts from as subtle as 1 level to as dramatic as 7 levels and beyond on natural and color treated hair. That's pretty amazing. There are 8 highlighting shades to choose from. Let me show you these. They're beautiful. So you have intense reds to these luminous blondes. Now this is a controlled highlighting system. This is not a bleach. So I like to present these colors to my customers, and I say this is a high lift color. Okay, and it really shows when you use the product. Very gentle on the hair. So with the reds, you will need no powder scoops. This is mixed with, you have your tube of color, got that out, and then you have your developer.
So with this is designed to pull through previously tinted hair and deposit color in the tonality that you choose in one step. You can use it on virgin hair, which you have to go to like 3rd grade to find them, or most of our clients, which is previously tinted hair. So this is what the highlighting system does in one step, and it will pull through previously tinted hair and deposit color at the same time.
So what you will need to do when using any of these highlighting shades is first you want to find their existing color, whether it's natural or color treated hair. We're gonna call her Betty. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so Betty comes in. I want to check to see what I'm going to be working on. I guess we can say she's about a 7. Why don't you guys take a look at this? You know, it's always hard with the lighting too. Yeah. Okay, so she said, this is a great one. She said 7, 7.5. So anytime whatever you're working on is in between colors, you always go with the darkest one to formulate. So that's a little note. Move this back. All right, so we're gonna say she's a 7. And let me see if somebody else can help me. Let's pick out a color. What color do you think would work great with her? Oh, a red. Okay, so let's try red. This is a gorgeous color. These are my favorites. You can see I put it on here. Beautiful. Now the reds do not require any powdered scoops. And what you will do is, do you guys have your chart here that you can open up? This is very important. This is like following a recipe. And I highly recommend that you use this when formulating, so this way you can meet your target. So we're gonna look on the left side for her level that we're working with. And I'm gonna ask Betty. Betty, are you natural or are you color treated hair? Okay, she's color treated hair. So you're gonna see there's 2 sections here. One's for color treated hair, one's for natural.
What if she has both? Like grown out, natural, and then
So
color
you'll see your options for formulating. On the left side it's for natural, on the right is for color treated hair.
But what if half of it's natural and the other half's
That's a
color
good
treated?
point. You would mix for 2 separate.
Okay.
So we have these great
Thank
bowls.
you.
I'm in love with them because they're very helpful. I do a lot of multi-dimensional colors. So our bowls are cut in half. So for me, I like working with it because you have one side, I can put the color I need. I do a lot of color correction too, so it's very useful for that. So yes, wonderful question. You would mix 2 formulas to do that. Now let's see what that is. Yeah, what a big difference, right? The formula? Can you tell me what that formula is for? Oh, this is a, okay, so let me back up. This is a teachable moment. So when I pulled her out, this mannequin, we found out she's a level 6. And the reason why we chose her is because, what does it say for level 7?
Says you can't use it.
Right, not achievable. So this is a great teachable moment. If you have a client's hair, and what you would do is you would need to actually color her whole entire head first, and then go back and put this on. And also doing that will give you a more vibrant shade. So for more vibrancy, you would put her under the dryer with the reds. For a calmer version, you can process her at room temperature. That's a nice little trick because there's clients that will love that swatch, right? And they'll put it on, they say, oh, I really like it, but maybe if it was a little bit calmer. That's when you could actually do a room temperature and get a calmer version. That's a nice little trick too. So I love that we just had a teachable moment because this mannequin is different. Well, you have the same one, Pam?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you have the same mannequin or we have different?
I'm not sure. I would think.
Okay.
They're all the
So
same.
at first we had different mannequins. I switched her out because I needed a darker base to do the reds that I'm gonna do. So she's a 6. Okay, so did everybody get that? All right, I'm gonna pick out a color And this way I know that you can formulate now, okay?
Does everybody understand why you can't use the reds on anything higher than a 7?
I was just about to
Because
ask.
you do not use the booster powder with the reds ever. So it's not, this is for the reds only. You never use the booster powder.
So-
I have a customer,
Uh-huh.
she didn't follow the rules. And she put one of the reds on a pre-light head, she was left to about 9 or 10, and it's turned,
Probably like hot pink or something.
Fire engine red?
Yeah, so yeah, if you break the rules,
like
you're gonna.
bozo hair.
Yeah, so if you want bozo hair, you definitely can put it on later levels.
And it holds so well that she's having trouble even covering.
The best thing to do is to cover it over and then like re-highlight it,
Yeah.
because you can't get it out. It stays very well.
Right.
So we understand that the chart is super important for that reason, because if I targeted her, I might be off a little bit, and then she'll say, oh, it's brighter than I expected. So I'm glad that we had that question. Okay, so let's try Gold Coast. Go on the chart, we're gonna say it's color treated hair again. All right, so I wanna call on you because I love your hair. Could you tell me for level 7 and for Gold Coast, what the formula is for color treated hair?
1.5 ounces of 10 volume and 2 scoops.
Right, and these scoops are level scoops right at the rim. I like to take my finger and just gently swipe off the top. And so each application on a tube, it'll say it. On the tube, it'll say 1 application, which is half a tube. And if you're needing to mix more than that, you can definitely mix both sides. I like to keep it separated. Sometimes people double up on it, but that's how I do it. All right, now what if she was natural? What would we do? Let me have Joe. Joe, what if she's natural?
What's it, Gold Coast, level 7 starting? It'll be,
Yeah.
1.5 ounce, 10 volume, 1 scoop.
Brilliant. Does everybody know how to use this yet? Because I want to make sure that you can really go in there and just try it out. And I have to pick on Joe with this. What did your client tell you when they use this color? And you, like, the improvement?
It's a long story. One of my customers came in, I'm a sales, I do hair, but I'm a salesman too. She came in, this lady had bleached her own hair, okay? You know how that turned out. And then she put a box coat on it. Horrible. I've got pictures, you can see it. She used the illusionist, and we knew they were gonna cut the ends off, because it was about to hit the floor anyway. So, she said she knew she was gonna cut it off, but she wanted to see what would happen. And she put the illusionist all the way through the ends on this hair. She said if it did anything, it maybe repaired the hair a little bit.
He said
It didn't break off.
Right.
It was already about to hit the floor, so process time, I'd love to show you.
Yeah, you can show everybody later, but
Wow,
he
yeah.
showed me, yeah, I remember he showed me last night. Her hair looked improved, and that's how I feel. That's why I use it. It's not like a bleach. I mean, bleach has its own purpose for things, but with this, you'll see the shine and the health in the hair after using it.
There's a complete difference between our boosting powders, so please never get those confused with bleach. Our Illusionist boosting powder is not a bleach that has no guardrails, that its job is just to break down everything when it touches the hair, breaks down the hair, breaks down the color molecule, it starts to disintegrate the hair if it's on too long. The Illusionist boosting powder is not a bleach, it's a persulfate lightener. And it works in a completely different technology, so it allows the color molecule not to be destroyed while it's breaking down the artificial or natural pigmentation to allow the new color molecule to be introduced and be coupled with it. So that's why you can lift through previously tinted hair or natural pigment and still deposit in one step.
So this highlighting system is used with a demi, 10, 20, 30, and 40 cream. You will see that on your chart. I strongly recommend this anytime you're mixing any of these colors to refer to your chart, whether you're working with natural or color treated hair. Also, we have base breaking options. You know, sometimes we'll do a heavy highlight and you want to soften the line of demarcation. There are base breaking formulas in there for the levels that you're working on, the colors that they recommend that would soften that base nicely. You have a difference between a light break and a slight break. A light break would be that you're going a little bit lighter, like you want to see a big difference. Not a big difference, but you know what I mean. Cut the edge off a little bit more. Now the slight break would be a little tiny bump. You just want to soften it ever so slightly. Have you used Illusionist?
Not really, but I will.
You will.
Yes. Now, I mean, I'm teaching in the school,
Okay.
and so I'm learning all of this. I've used a lot of the integrity. I've used the blazing system. This one I didn't know as well. So
So how do you feel so far about the mixing?
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple, right?
Yeah, it is.
You know
I'm
where you're starting
wondering,
with?
like, say, can you cut that half a tube down to a quarter of a tube?
Great
Because
points.
sometimes
Yes.
you only need 10 more foils, right?
Thank you for saying that. So anytime you want to half your formula, you just cut your formula by half.
Okay.
That's it. If you want to double up, you double up on your formula. Okay?
Doreen,
Yeah.
can I say something about the Illusionist?
Sure.
So, these reds in the Illusionist are intense. They're like Kool-Aid. And they're so highly pigmented. They last, they penetrate, they're bright, they're beautiful. But you need to let your technicians and your clients know that they're going to need a towel or a pillowcase. They're going to be bleeding pink for a while. Even if you rinse in the bowl, they're really, really highly concentrated. So what I'm saying about that is if you were to mix that with anything above a 6 that's porous, like William was saying, you're going to get that bleed onto that hair. Okay, so if you're going to be mixing your blondes and your reds, your true integrity is the way to go. Don't pull the Illusionist thinking you're going to get that bright red, because it's going to bleed and your whole head's going to be pink. Okay, so just remember that.
That's what we say in the wall chart, not recommended. This, guys, is your guide. You live by this. You just point and shoot. If this says don't do it, don't do it, especially in the reds. But I mean, this is your guide. You will never be strayed, and you'll have consistent results if you always refer to this. Once you get comfortable with it, if you want to, I know hairdressers, you're gonna maybe add a little bit extra of this, extra of that. But I'm just telling you, if you want the exact consistent results of what's in your swatch book to the results that we're giving you here, use this swatch chart. It is your point and shoot, and you'll get the same results over and over and over again. And the hair will feel better after you use Illusionist than if you'd have done a bleach and tone.
Now, it's not recommended to highlight, and thank you for bringing this up with the pigment, to highlight with a red and a blonde together because of the whole bleeding. If you're in a situation and you are doing that, you definitely want to rinse it really, really well and then coat it with a conditioner before rinsing your blondes. Also, no H2O2, strong believer in that because that helps close the cuticle down. It shuts down the oxidation process. So because you want to stop the red from bleeding a lot, I do that about 3 times. And then do it for about 3 to 5 minutes.
I have also sealed with the high definition 00 and some mini after my reds.
Yep.
They don't bleed as bad.
Yeah, exactly. But just remember that if you are using the
Great tip.
Illusionist on anything higher than a level 6 that we don't recommend, it's going to bleed. because it's got a high it's high concentration of pigment, allows for intense reds and the softest, lightest blondes possible, cancels residual yellows and golds, tones hair at a lighter level. Guys, the Illusionist is 0.4 to 0.8 of ammonia. That's why the hair feels better with this product. So just know, as long as you stay within our guardrails of how to use this, you can lift through previously tinted hair and tone in one step. You don't have to bleach and tone. Bleaching and toning, when you're using bleach, it's a wrecking ball. Bleach only knows to search and destroy. Illusionist knows what to go in and target. It starts breaking down the color molecule, whether it's artificial or natural, before any damage starts to happen because of our PBX and all the insurance policies that are in there with our ingredients to protect the hair integrity while it's breaking down the color molecules first, to get those coupled and into the hair before there's any undue necessary damage to the hair. That's why Illusionist is your go-to for a one-step lift and tone highlighting system. This is not recommended for on the scalp. This is a highlighting system.
We had a question over here.
What did you call? So you called Illusionist powder. You said it was.
It has a booster powder.
Yeah, the booster powder. You said it was a.
Persulfate.
Prosulfate.
Persulfate. PUR sulfate. So that is going to give you more control. It has guardrails. Its job is to break down the color molecule before the hair integrity starts to break down. So your whole process is 30 to 45 minutes depending on what you're doing. So the hair doesn't start to break down with the persulfate until after the first 25 to 30 minutes. So you pretty much have gotten your job done. That's why the hair feels softer and better after Illusionist than it does if you've done a bleach and tone.
So I just want to show you, what's that?
So with the booster, like I get with the accelerator, like how much you use.
It's an accelerator.
Yeah, it's an accelerator.
Blazing says booster powder. Illusionist is accelerator powder. Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing, okay.
But it's
Same
not
thing.
a bleach, it's a control lightning system. So each scoop is going to give you 1 to 2 levels of lift.
Are you telling me that the booster powder and the blazing powder are exactly the
No,
same?
No, of
Okay.
course not. One is
Okay, I'm like,
the
if we
technology
run
is
out of
similar.
one, can we use the
No.
other?
No, you cannot
Okay.
use.
Okay.
You cannot use. If
Thank
you
you.
run out of blazing booster, you cannot use Illusionist because the scoop for Illusionist is much bigger than the scoop for blazing. Because the scoop for Illusionist is put with a cream, and the booster, the scoop for blazing, is put with a gel.
Because you know us hairdressers, we
I know.
run out of
Don't
stuff.
do it.
We run out of
Don't
stuff
do
and we
it.
start.
That's one thing.
So
Don't do it.
so I just wanted to show you guys, so this is like everybody's favorite that wants to be platinum. I mean, how do you love doing this in one shot? I mean, no.
No.
This is an off the scalp lightning system. So you either want to put this in foils. I really feel like for the results, like the more vibrant results, they should be in foil, insulated, or in papers. Okay, but you can do this open air. I just feel like for intense results, you want to encapsulate it in something. But this is, I love this.
And can you use that on the scalp or
No.
No.
Okay, just
Only
wanted to make
off
sure.
the scalp, yeah.
Don't
Sure.
even.
Okay.
So if there's a color, that you like, you're going to want to use a true integrity shade on the base, on the root. So after the root, that's when you would use an Illusionist. Did everyone get that? If
After
you
the
want to match one of these shades, you can go in your true integrity book and find something that will match or blend or shadow root, and then put one of these on for your highlights.
But you know you're going to have more control going from a level 4 to a level 10 with the Illusionist in a foil with heat, right? Than you are trying to go from a 4 to a
No
10
scalp.
with an on the scalp
'Cause it can get
hair
tender.
color or
It
bleach,
can
right?
make your
So
head
guys,
tender.
just remember that this is a highlighting system only.
We'll talk later. You tell me your turn.
Highlighting system only. We do not recommend you use Illusionist on the scalp.
Okay, so
hold on.
you see
Wait,
our
wait.
shades, 6 a.m. Spice Rum. That is like a beautiful kind of like caramel or chestnut. And I love this for dark brunettes when they just want something subtle, and especially if they don't want just want to use bleach, you can talk them into using this. And you see this color right here, this spiced rum, sells great around the holidays. I love the names of our.
And you guys will have, you know, this afternoon, everybody's gonna break this out. You're gonna go through all the colors. I mean, we got the Gold Coast Candlelight Sandstorm Spotlight Bombshell is amazing. My Marilyn Monroe go-to is always Bombshell. Love, love, love Bombshell. Then we've got the Crimson and the Scarlet. Those are your reds. For the Crimson, or for the Crimson and the Scarlet, no accelerator powder needed or required. Do not use it with it. From